Right, hello everyone, welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be sharing my predictions on what I think is going to come to Alton Towers and Blackpool Pleasure Beach in the coming years in terms of coasters. Now this isn't like an official prediction, it's just what I'd like to go in the park. However, I'm keeping this like realistic obviously. So yeah, let's get on with it. Space, if you can't tell, plenty of space around the park. Unfortunately, most of it is for gardens, so you can't actually use most of it, unfortunately. However, there are a few spots which a lot of people would talk about when talking about Secret Weapon 9 and where it should go. I'm going to highlight the main ones, which I think are the most plausible, like right now. So the first one, which is probably the most popular one, So the first one, which is probably the most popular, I think, is the car park behind Galactica here. So you can see it's very big open space, and as you can see by this image actually, all the cars are here. There's literally no cars here. Like all the cars are in the other car park. So it kind of goes to show why getting rid of this wouldn't be too bad of an idea. Plus, if needed, they could just build another car park. We've got plenty of room outside the park, extend the car park. So yeah, this would be quite a good location for a coaster. However, the issue is it's very close to the hotels and the golf, so you could only probably use about, you won't be able to use the entire car park because the hotels are right there, and having a coaster right next to the hotels isn't a very good idea. So this is quite a good spot for Secret Weapon 9, but there are a few others. So the next one, which a lot of people talk about, is near Gloomy Wood and Catania Canyon. So I don't know what's happened here, but Google Earth just doesn't want to load specific bits in. For example, the Runaway Mine Train has just been deleted, and yeah, a lot of it's just gone. But anyway, this is all gardens, so I'm not gonna go beyond this path here, or the monorail track. But there is there's a quite small area here. You could fit a compact ride into here, and then there's also this road. This is the road. We can't go past here, but there is this space here which you could probably extend into. Obviously, that might be, you won't be able to use this entire thing again, but this is a pretty decent space for a ride, and there's not really much at this end of the park really. There's Jewel and there's Catania Canyon, and then that's about it. And then a third spot, which I don't really see many people talk about actually, is this bit here behind Spinball, and in between Spinball and Smiler. This massive area here is there's nothing here apart from the house there, which we don't really need to go near. And there is also this road, but I'm pretty sure this is just a servicing road like this one here. So there is a servicing road here, but that's fine. We can just build the coaster on top of the servicing road. That's not really an issue. So yeah, this is also a potential spot for Secret Weapon 9. So as we can see, the area around Spinball is about 11 square kilometers in area. As you can see, I've outlined this area here. This is a pretty reasonable space where you'd want the new coaster. Of course, this isn't just the coaster, it's all the paths and stuff around the coaster too. So yeah, you could easily fit Spinball and Smiler into here if you tried. It's a very big area. As we can see, the area near Catania Canyon and Jewel is about 8 square kilometers, a bit less, but about-ish. And it's a bit smaller. Of course, I've not included this area because this is very close to the outside road, which might be a problem for sightlines. So yeah, just this area, but still it's a decent area, you can definitely fit something in here. And for the last area, which is the area near Galactica, I've outlined just this side of the car park, because it's a car park, so you'd want to keep as much of it as possible. But you could definitely extend a bit. So just for this estimate, I'm going to put it at 7.5 square kilometers of area. So welcome to Six Flags. This is Wonder Woman Golden Lasso coaster. It's an RMC Raptor, and it occupies 2 square kilometers of land, which is like you could fit 5 of these in the Galactica car park, which, you know, I think this stands a reasonable chance of Alton Towers installing one of these, to be honest. As you can see, it's a Raptor, obviously. Very like fast-paced, short layout. However, there are bigger versions of a Raptor, such as the Jersey Devil coaster, which doesn't actually exist on Google Earth yet, but it is here. It occupies about 5 square kilometers, which would fit in every single one of the areas which I specified before, and it's like a larger version of the Raptor. So that means obviously it's the shape of it isn't really taken. I'm not really taking that into consideration because it doesn't have to be exactly the same layout, but yeah, this would fit. Alright, the next park which I'm going to be reviewing in this video in terms of what the next ride should be is Blackpool Pleasure Beach. Now we can see we've got a bit of a problem here. It is landlocked on every possible side. As you can see, there is very little, like, maybe a bit of a car park, but that's not really going to be any good. And they could, maybe they could, you know, get rid of some houses, but that's a very, very unlikely possibility. And of course, they can't really go this way because, well, it's kind of the sea, so you can't really go that way. So there's literally not really any expansion possible, and this is it really. This is park, and we can't go anywhere out, and as you can see it's very full. So unfortunately we are going to have to remove something. Now I do actually have a couple ideas on what we could remove. The first one is Revolution. Now Infusion takes up about 2.5 square kilometers of land, which you could fit a Raptor in. However, it's not the best shape, obviously because we want it to fit in this very peculiar shape, because if it doesn't, then there's literally stuff everywhere. So a very like rectangle, right? Like not very wide. It has to fit in a very narrow space. However, there is the perfect ride to go in here. Alright, so the Google Earth imaging is a bit outdated here, but this is Busch Gardens Tampa, and this is where Tigress sits. As you can see, it would fit, and it's roughly the correct shape. Yeah, it fits in this small area here, like this very small area, and it is roughly the right shape, and it's arguably, like, it's a much better ride. It's a Premier Ride Skyrocket model, and because you can't see it on Google Earth, there'll just be some pictures on screen. But yeah, that's the first possible ride that you could put in Blackpool. So that's one possibility. However, I do have another possibility, because Revolution would be a bit of a stretch to remove. Like, it would be quite complicated to remove, and it's, you know, a lot of people really enjoy it, so, you know, they might not want to remove it. However, a ride that a very, very minute amount of people enjoy is Infusion, that you could put in Blackpool. Yeah, that's right, I am getting rid of the SLC. As you can see, it's in a prime piece of land. It is right near the central, like, hub of the park, near where all the thrill rides are, apart from the big one, which is all the way down there. But anyway, it's got Big Dipper icon here, Avalanche just around here, with Revolution over there too. This is like the centre of the park ish. So it's in a prime location, and you can also see it directly from outside the park, which, if it was a new ride, you know, it would be interesting. People might want to come in. And I think it's taking up the spot is a Vekoma SLC, quite an old Vekoma SLC too. It's this isn't its first park. It was in another park, so it's very old and very rough. And also, it wasn't that expensive of a ride anyway, so, like, I could see Infusion being removed for the next ride edition, which would leave them with about 5 square kilometres of free land, which would be ideal for a new ride. Obviously it is a very good location, quite a big area too. So what could we put here? Well, if you look at Blackpool's layout and all the coasters they've got a ride with launches, obviously with Icon. They've got height, they've got wooden coasters, a few too many of them. But what they've not got is an inversion based coaster with a lot of inversions, unless you count Infusion, which obviously is we're in this hypothetical scenario with removing it, so that we can't. So they need something with a lot of inversions. Well, I say we get them a Smiler, because a Smiler does indeed fit on this plot of land. Obviously it wouldn't be the Smiler, I'm talking like another infinity coaster. Maybe with maybe they could try. I don't think they could break the immersion record in the space, honestly. Like Alton Towers is really pushing it to the limit, and like this is actually a bit smaller than the Smiler's space, but you could definitely fit a Eurofighter in here, or an infinity coaster, depending on how compact and squeezed in it is. So yeah, you could definitely fit one of those in, and it would be you know, a nice addition to the park's lineup. Inversion based ride. They could also get a few. They could potentially go for a few records. They could go for, obviously, the inversion count, but that's not very likely because it is a bit smaller than the Smiler's area, and the Smiler is like, you can't really go more compact than the Smiler. And obviously there's the steepest drop on a Eurofighter. They could go for that. The steepest drop in the world. That would be, a decent title to to stick on the ride. You could also just mark it with ride as, just a ride instead of having a world record breaking feature, because this isn't Merlin Entertainment we're talking about, so they could potentially do that. So yeah, it would be a very cool addition. It would work well with the rest of the park, and yeah, I think this is more likely than getting rid of Revolution, but also I'm not too sure because Infusion isn't exactly really old. It definitely stay, but there's not really anywhere else to put a ride breaking feature, because this isn't Merlin Entertainment we're talking about, so they could potentially do that. So yeah, it would be a very cool addition. It would work well with the rest of the park, and yeah, I think this is more likely than getting rid of Revolution, but also I'm not too sure because Infusion isn't exactly really old. It definitely stay, but there's not really anywhere else to put a ride